In an age of space stations and live streams from Mars, a very old idea is, well, it's making a surprising return. Today, we're going to look into a book called Flat Earth Uncovered. It explores why so many people are questioning what we've been taught about the shape of our world. It really is a modern paradox, isn't it? We can watch live video from the International Space Station, and at the same time, this ancient idea is finding new life online, sparking debates all over the world. So the big question is, why now? And that's really at the heart of all this.
And that's the central puzzle this book really tries to unpack. It suggests that, maybe this isn't just about the shape of the Earth. Maybe it's a symptom of something much bigger, a trend of questioning authority and searching for answers outside of the usual places.
So Flat Earth Uncovered steps into this very complex conversation, almost like a guide. The way it's structured is to take on the 100 most common and most challenging questions that people are asking. Now, this book isn't about proving one side right and the other wrong. Instead, it's framed more like a personal journey. A journey that started with a simple question. Why does this idea have such a powerful pull on people? This quote from the author, Sue West, really gets to the heart of the book's approach. It's made very clear that the goal was never to pick a side. It was about genuinely trying to understand the different perspectives and what's driving those perspectives. So the whole structure of this book is built around these 100 questions, and it covers a huge range, everything from the absolute basics all the way to some of the most intricate arguments. Let's look at a few examples of what you'll find inside. It starts right at the beginning, with the fundamentals, like what is the actual model? This book describes it as a stationary, level plane, with the sun, the moon, and the stars all moving above it.
From there, it moves into some of the big scientific challenges. Take gravity, for instance. The book explains how many proponents of this view reject the concept of gravity and instead suggest that objects fall because of their own density and buoyancy.
This book also dives deep into the conspiracy elements that often come up. It directly addresses the belief that space agencies might be fabricating images and data just to uphold the globe model, and it explores the possible motivations behind such a massive deception.
And of course, it tackles that classic question, what's at the edge? The most common proposal that's discussed in the book is a massive ice wall, Antarctica, that contains all the oceans and marks the boundary of our world.
Now, the book doesn't just list these questions randomly. They're actually organized into very distinct themes, and this helps to build a much more complete picture of all the arguments.
And through this structure, the exploration really covers everything. You have the foundational model, the scientific debates, but also the reasons for distrust, and even the interpretations of religious texts that influence many of these beliefs. And this really gets to the core of the conflict. This book highlights a fundamental clash between two different ways of understanding our world. On one hand, you have established scientific principles. On the other, you have direct, everyday observations. This tension between textbook science and personal experience is a central theme.
The book also takes the time to define key terms that are absolutely crucial to the conversation, like the firmament. Now, based on certain interpretations of religious texts, this is described as a solid dome over the Earth. And that one concept fundamentally changes the view of our world, from an open system in infinite space to a closed, contained one.
So, after all this, what's the ultimate takeaway? Well, this book really positions itself not as a final verdict, but more as a tool for you, the reader. This quote from the introduction really captures the mission of the book perfectly. The goal isn't to persuade you one way or the other. It's to equip you with a deeper understanding of the arguments so that you can have more informed and, importantly, respectful discussions on the subject. What this book suggests is that the real value lies in understanding the why. The motivations, the skepticism, and that personal search for truth that leads a person to question something that many of us just accept without a second thought. And this all leaves us with a final thought-provoking question, one that really mirrors the book's own spirit of inquiry. And it's this. Regardless of the topic, what is the value in re-examining our foundational beliefs? And what can be learned from truly trying to understand the perspectives of those who challenge them? If you'd like to explore all 100 of these questions for yourself, this book is available now on Amazon. Just search for the title, Flat Earth Uncovered, 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth, written by Sue West.
Here's a quick riddle before we close. What moves every night, yet never forgets its steps? The sky above you. And this book helps you explore what that perfect rhythm might mean. Click the link to get your copy of Flat Earth Uncovered, 100 Questions That Challenge the Round Earth by Sue West.